Hey guys. Hello everybody. All right. I feel like I've been posting like a mad woman. Let's see if anyone got the message. Oh, come join us live. All right. I'm just going to pull this up here so I can answer your guys' comments easy. Hello guys. I was going to say good morning. It is not morning. Much to my surprise, it is noon. There we go. All right. You're there. Hannah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm kind of digging it. It's a lot less hair to shampoo, a lot less to deal with. And I get a lot of water buildup in my hair, so that's kind of eliminated that problem, hard water buildup. And yeah, it's a good summer haircut, right? I appreciate it, you guys. You're making me feel so good today. All right, here's the skinny. I have a lot to talk about today. I'm going to just be real and tell you that up front. I have got a whole list of notes here that I've been writing. I wrote this all day yesterday, kind of been thinking about this the last couple of days. And, you know, I'm sure just like you guys, we've all been watching this thing unfold before our eyes. And every day that goes by, we're like, this can't be happening. Like, this can't be happening. It's not going to come here. And we just kind of always, you know, put it off thinking this isn't going to impact us. And lo and behold, now all of us are like, well, darn, it is impacting us. And, you know, the most important thing we can do at this point is to assess the risk, to make a plan, and to move forward, right? I think that there's so much panic happening in the world around us. There's so much panic happening in the media that we have two options. We can choose to succumb to the panic and live in fear and live in that anxiety, or we can choose to do something about it, right? And I think when we choose to take action over living in anxiety, that's when we start to feel creative and we start to be nimble and we start to see the opportunities that are going to unfold before us. So I guess before I start in with any of these tips and ideas on what's happening with coronavirus, I just want to invite you to think about your mindset for a moment and just take a deep breath and go, man, do I need to step away from the panic and just assess what's actually happening and make sure my mindset's on par with where I want to go? You know, it's kind of like when we talk about money mindset, we talk about, you know, some people will say things like, and my mom, my parents were this way. They would say things like, I can't afford it. And when you choose to make a definitive statement like that, it shuts down all the creative pathways in your brain. And they say, okay, done. I'm going to stop thinking about it. I can't afford it. Whereas if you would just switch two words around and you would say, how can I afford it? Now our brain starts to work overtime, thinking of ways to be creative, thinking of ways to make it happen, and new opportunities appear before us. It's two words in a statement that we make. And to me, the situation's no different. You know, I'm devastated for the gals that had Houston, all the vendors that were in Houston. You guys know what it's like when you invest $100,000 in inventory and you're going to go set up at a vendor show and it's canceled. And Brandy, I got your message. I haven't responded to it yet. And Paige, I see your comments. Like, all of you are dealing with this, right? But you can choose to say, this sucks. This is happening to me. I hate this virus. Or what am I going to do about it? We all have to like sulk in it for a minute. I get that. But then we have to choose to move forward past it and get creative, okay? I heard this Simon Sinek quote, and actually my friend Bob Nagan, if you follow Whiz Bang Retail, shared it, and I thought it was so brilliant. Simon Sinek is so smart. He said, panic causes tunnel vision. Calm acceptance of risk allows us to more easily assess the situation and see the options. Let me repeat that. Panic causes tunnel vision. Calm acceptance of risk allows us to more easily assess the situation and to see the options. And I don't know about you guys, but anytime I have ever made a decision out of fear, it's usually been the wrong decision, right? I've lived to regret that decision. But when we can accept the challenge that's ahead of us and start to plan now ahead of time, when we hit those moments, now we can make calm, smart choices. I think about it like this, and I'm going to reference this several times in what I'm about to share next. Yes, you can post a meme in the group. The way I look at it is this. All decisions, when it comes to assessing risk, have a green light, a yellow light, and a red light. And our job is to create this scenario ahead of time, right? It's just like creating a break-even analysis in your business. You've got a green light, things are going good. You've got a yellow light, oh no, revenue's slowing down. I just need to make sure I'm prepared. That's yellow light. And red light's like, oh damn, like it's here, it's happening, and now I need to make the decision. But if we've become prepared ahead of time, when red light happens, we can quickly react and we know what decisions to make that are smartest for us because we've thought about it outside of the tunnel vision of panic. We good? Panic causes tunnel vision. Calm acceptance of risk allows us to easily assess the situation and see the options. So here's what I created, and here's what I want to share with you right now. The way I look at it through this lens yesterday, I started to think about, okay, if we're going to be prepared and then have a plan to execute, there's really 5 areas that we have to be prepared and execute our plan in. So I created a whole guide. I would love if you would take notes, but please know Meredith is here today. She's making this guide, and Shannon has been working on this guide as well. They're making it ready for you to download in the training library. So by the end of the day, this will be in the training library. I recorded a podcast on this just a little bit ago. So there'll be a podcast that's more in depth on what I'm sharing today. And there'll be a blog post about it. And I will go live again on our business page maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure when yet. I've got to figure that out. But we've got tons of resources happening right now. And someone from our team, myself or Sarah or Ed or someone, will be going live each week for the next several weeks because we want to make sure we walk through this with you. We've had a ton on our plate just with Boutique Summit stuff, and let me be real and assess that for a minute. This was a crappy week to sell Boutique Summit tickets. It was. We're so accustomed to like, oh man, we're going to sell it out and it's so exciting. But the truth is, what's happening in your guys' business far trumps what happens with the Boutique Summit, right? Dealing with this right now trumps anything we have going on our plate. So all hands are now on this deck. Boutique Summit for now is still happening June 7th through the 9th in Atlanta. Tickets are still on sale. We are over 3/4 of the way sold out. And we've also looked at alternative dates. Should this thing drag out longer than we think it has to, we've looked at the August market date and the October market date, and we have soft holds on those dates. So if we get to a point where we're like, you know what, this isn't cleared up yet, we're going to move it, I will let you know. We'll take a poll. You guys will be a part of that decision. This is not for us to decide. This is us as a community deciding it together. So it's kind of a short Boutique Summit update. Also, this was a great lesson this week on event insurance. And apparently coronavirus does not yet qualify as an act of God, which, I mean, they do talk about diseases in the Bible. So blew my mind when we got that word from our insurance agent. But I can't imagine being someone like Houston Rodeo or anyone who has a big event, South by Southwest, that has to deal with all the contracts, all the food and beverage minimums, all the things you sign your life away for when you host events, sign your name on the dotted line, and then there's no insurance to help in case those things get canceled, right? Kind of dicey. So those are the things on our plate. But no, we'll figure it out and it will all be fine, and we'll make sure that we have what you need for your business when you need it. For now, it's still June. If it happens to be August or October, it's going to be a hell of a party either way. It's going to be a great time. So there's that. All right, so back to the training at hand. We have 5 areas that I'm going to help walk you through today to create a preparedness plan and an execution plan for your business. Sound good? And this will be in the training library. So first step, we're going to look at protecting your health, protecting your team, protecting your customer, protecting your community, and pertinent to today, protecting your business. And that's the biggest topic. So I'm going to go fast through the first couple, but they're all important. We have to take a 5-pronged approach to what we're going to do right now in business. Number 1 is protect your health. And I think you guys have probably got this covered by now. You know how to wash your hands. You know how to cover your mouth when you sneeze. You know to wash that dirty old cell phone of yours. You know to teach your kids good hygiene. You know to stay home when you're sick. The media's got you covered on protecting your health, right? You're good there. But one thing I would consider is if your school hasn't shut down yet, which Meredith's here today, she just told me that their college just shut down and all the other ones in the area now are. What are you going to do with your kids? And how are you going to continue to maintain a healthy lifestyle while you and your kids and your family are at home. What's the plan? Okay, so have that family conversation, honestly, of what you're going to do to protect your health. When it comes to traveling, I know that's another topic. The CDC's got all kinds of info out about that. There's still tons of people traveling right now that say they're not having any issues. That's a personal choice. I know there's been questions on Dallas Market Center and Atlanta Apparel. Both of them made statements yesterday that they're still on. We'll see if that holds true. I mean, plans are just going to have to be nimble for the next couple weeks, and that's fine, right? Step number 1, protect yourself. Just like when you're in an airplane, you put your mask on before you protect others, right? For a reason. Number 2 is protect your team. You don't have a business without your team, right? So first things first. I know you guys are good about cleaning your workspace, but for the peace of mind of your team and for the peace of mind of your customers, now's the time to really double down on that. Whether it's propping the doors open for customers so they don't have to grab the handle, or insisting that customers use their own pen or use disposable pens when they sign the credit card slip, or you're showing your customers that you're disinfecting packages before they go out, or your employees know that surface areas have been cleaned at certain times a day, or they have more time to take for cleaning breaks, right? Just making sure your space, warehouse or brick and mortar, is clean and giving your employees that peace of mind. It matters. Even if they tell you it doesn't matter and they don't buy into it, it does matter at the end of the day. Offering them more hand sanitizer, soap, all the things, toilet paper if you can find it, making sure it's available. Number 2 with your employees is making sure you have a continuity plan in place. So make sure you have a way to monitor and maximize employee absenteeism. So talk to your employees and start making a plan on if someone has to stay home because their kids can't go to school, how will you operate your business? Or if an employee is sick and has to go into quarantine, how will you operate your business? Making sure we cross-train our employees or anyone that helps us, so if someone's out, someone else knows where to pick up where they left off. And also at the same time, getting down into the details of what is your sick leave policy. Does your business qualify for any type of FMLA? What are you going to give them for extended leave? At least think through that process now. You may have to visit with your accountant or your attorney, and that's fine. But make the plan, because really the biggest thing to fear is fear itself at this point. There's a lot of people worried about their jobs right now. And I know I've heard so many of you express this also about spouses, and I mean, you're worried about your business, but a lot of people are also worried about their employment. So however you can reassure your employees that they have a place to come back to should you have to shut down for a while. Phone call. Sorry. However you can reassure them, that goes a long way. And when your employees know that you have their back, they have yours. So bring them into the creative thinking process, bring them into the decision-making and planning process. So as things start to unfold quickly, you guys have a plan to execute really, really quickly. A lot of these quarantines and things that have happened, it's not like you get a say in it. You know, you don't have a say as to when people are going home from school, but you just find out and boom, you've got to be there. So you guys, today is the day. Tomorrow is the day. Have these conversations with your team immediately. Cross-train your staff as quickly as you can. And then if they have to work from home, what parts of your business can be run from home? And what can people take home? Do you need to make sure things are uploaded to the cloud right now? Do you need to make sure they have a laptop at home? What are you going to do with your shipping? Like all those decisions, what pieces can be moved from home? I could tell you how we operate because our entire team works remote. Just message me, drop a comment. I'll go into great detail. Couple tools you're going to want to make sure you have. Google Docs, we're all sharing on the cloud. Slack, or a Facebook group with just you and your employees. We love Slack because it's all categorized by channel, so we can talk, and it's free when you get started. Slack, Google Docs. What else? Trello we use a lot for like list and to-do lists and projects, all those things. Sharing, making sure your passwords are shared. So if you have somewhere where you're keeping passwords in the store, you've got somewhere where people can access passwords online. We use LastPass. So really all you have to remember is your one password for LastPass, and then you have access to all of your other passwords in LastPass. All right, next thing when it comes to protecting your workforce, and this kind of ties into protecting your business, is making sure you have an operations plan. So if you're in boot camp, I feel like a broken record because we literally just had a module on operations plans. And if I'm being real with you, this is the kind of crap I always push off until the very end of my to-do list. Like, oh yeah, I'll get to that someday. But then you never really do. But it comes down to this. Rachel Hollis talks about it. I don't know what she calls it. I'm going to call it the bus rule. But if you were hit by a bus tomorrow, or if your right-hand person was hit by a bus tomorrow, could your business survive? Plain and simple. What would happen? Like, who would take it over? What would they do? And your operations plan is really there to help mitigate that and to help on day 0, after Ashley gets hit by a bus, go, oh crap, how do we operate the boutique hub? Here's a plan. And it's your mission, your vision, your entire platform, all of the Shopify, all the tools that you use, where to go to access your passwords, which for us is in LastPass, who's on your team, what's their roles, what's their addresses, what's their phone numbers, what's the chain of command, what are the SOPs that we use in our business, who are all of the key vendors in our business. And I don't mean wholesale vendors, but I mean like your landlord, your HVAC guy, your plumber guy, your attorney, your accountant, your insurance agent, that has to be in there, all the key players that support your business. All that stuff goes in your operations doc. Again, if you're in boot camp, there is an example in there for you to download and fill out. This is something that Beth loves to do because she's super anal and organized, and I hope all of you have a Beth. But making sure that stuff's in place now, I mean, better late than never when something like coronavirus forces you into just having that stuff documented somewhere. All right, so protecting your workforce. And if I miss something that you guys think would be a good idea to add into protecting your workforce, please just let me know, and I will add that in there. Phase 3 is really, how do I protect my customers? And I know my email inbox has been like hammered the last 2 days from every store I've ever shopped with, especially big box stores. I haven't seen many boutiques sending this out yet, but I'm sure you've gotten them too. And it's all these companies talking about how they're protecting their customers. Uber, Nordstrom, all those stores. And they're talking about cleaning policies and how they're taking care of product and shipping procedures and, you know, how they're looking out for your best interests. I highly recommend, if you haven't already had this conversation with your customers, that you do, right? That you talk to them about your policies, your cleaning, how you're disinfecting packages before they go out or before they come in if they're coming from China, or what, you know, if you're expecting shipping to be delayed, because let's say, no one's really talked about this, but I don't know what'll happen with the post office. Like our post office workers, if they hold them back in some way, that's like doomsday scenario. But if that delays your shipping, have a conversation about it. You know, the more you're just open about what's happening, the more customers are going to be like, yeah, I'm frustrated too, but we're in this together, sister. So let's get through it. So just sending out an email, just sharing that. And when I say share that, there's a really fine line between sharing it for fear and sharing it for just general goodwill and trust. Because going back to this whole idea of mindset, if I step back for a second, Eric always says this to me, and I think it's so funny, but he always says, desperation is a stinky cologne. Like, you can smell when someone's desperate a mile away. So when you're desperate, when you're fearful, when you're desperate to make $1 and you're sharing that with your community, they can smell it and they don't want any part of it. They can feel your good energy. They can feel when you're still genuinely excited about something or genuinely care about them, right? So there's a limit to sharing too much about this, to be honest, for their sake and their safety and their trust, versus just going back to life as normal. Hey, we still have new arrivals. Like, you might be quarantined at home, but isn't this top cute? People are going to be so bombarded by the panic online, and I think they already are, that the more we can just be ourselves and just give them an outlet to escape all this stuff on a daily basis and still maintain that relationship that they have with you, the more it's going to help you in the long run. And kind of on that note, the more we do, you know, maybe not everyone is buying right now. Maybe you do have a bit of a slowdown, but what's important to remember is keep the clicks up. If you can just keep clicks, keep engagement, keep your people there. Maybe you're sharing, 100 ideas of what to do at home with your kids if they can't go to school. Keep the engagement up, because this is just the off season, right? This is just summertime. We're just prepping and practicing in the summertime if business slows down. But as people start to buy again and we get through whatever this wave of panic is, you want to be the first one off the starting blocks. You want to be the first one back in the game off the bench. So just like we prepare after December when business gets slow in January or June or July, and we think about what am I going to do during that time to optimize my business? This is the time to optimize our business if things are slow. You're still going to maintain excitement, still going to share new arrivals, but if you have more time to spend doing projects that you've been putting off for a while, that's okay, right? There's opportunity in that for you to get stronger because of the situation that we're in right now. Yeah, Nicole, I love that. I literally just told my customers on a live video that we're going to keep our page light and fun because there's so much negativity. Absolutely. I think that's super smart to do. So make sure the level of trust is there, and then keep rolling on with your bad self. I also think that you have this opportunity because all of you have this realm of influence with your customers. You've got huge social reach. How can you use that to benefit your community? So let's talk about protecting your community, right? You can be a source of information. You can be a collaborator with other local businesses who desperately need it, right? You can be the light in the darkness, so to speak, of your community. You can use that influence that you have for more than just selling things. You can use it for so much good. So serve those customers, serve that community. All right, let's talk about protecting your business. There's a lot more that I just skipped in my notes, but it'll be in the training library. Let's get to the meat, protecting your business. Number one, we've already talked about analyzing our supply chain. I know a couple of you have been in LA this week and last week and have said there's plenty of products there. Supply chain, I think we're moving past that issue, if I'm being honest. I think right now people are just worried about being overstocked. And I think we've all found that there's lots of vendors that don't solely manufacture in China. We do have some diversity there. I think the brands and vendors group has been a huge help for this, for you to write in search of posts or for vendors to post what they have that's ready to ship. There's still product out there, but I would still encourage you to have that conversation with your vendors about products you're still waiting on. And actually two things, being twofold. Number one, use this time to analyze what any projections are and what any open to buy is that you have for summer, fall, and holiday, because that's going to really come upon us pretty quick. We're basically going to skip summer. It feels like we're going to go right into fall and holiday. So analyze what your projections are and what your open to buy is so you have a plan, because those vendors are going to start, first come, first serve, fulfilling orders. So step two is you have to maintain that great relationship with vendors. Just be in constant communication with them. So as things turn around and you're able to start placing some of those later orders, that you're top of mind and you're first to get your goods that way. For those of you who have inventory in stock and you're worried about not putting everything on the floor, or not having everything on the website, or not reordering quite as much, and you're running a little bit leaner, you have the opportunity, obviously, to re-merchandise your stores and still make them look full. And the same on your website. Even through this process, making sure your website's re-merchandised on the homepage every 2 weeks still matters, right? New collections, new photos, new features, just every 2 weeks, right? People want to know that something's new. Your homepage is just like your storefront window, and keeping that merchandised and fresh is going to keep people excited about what you have going on. And even if you're selling new arrivals or you're showing new arrivals and they aren't selling through at the rate that you're used to, re-merchandise, reshoot, restyle, and repost all of it. You're going to have a lot more opportunity to do that going forward. The one thing I would just caution you on is it's really easy to say, well, I'm not going to post all my new arrivals, or I'm not going to put all these pieces out, or I'm really going to slow down. Just be wary that when you mentally decide I'm going to take a slowdown, that you only sell what you show. So if you're like, I'm going to slow down these new arrivals, but then on the back end, you're like, oh crap, I have no money. We have to analyze, what is my potential sell through? What's my potential profit from everything I'm selling right now? And am I really doing myself a disservice? So until you have it proven to you that your sales are going to be slower, don't make a snap judgment, and be careful to analyze what your potential profit and revenue is from all the new arrivals that you're posting, that you still are posting enough to have a sell through that's going to come through to your bottom line, if that makes sense. Also, if stores overbought for the shows, post it. We can use it and help offload if it's not stale. Yeah, Lisa. So I want to bring up this point. A lot of you are having shows canceled and you're overstocked in inventory right now. Be careful yet with markdowns. I wouldn't go that route quite yet. I would still keep pushing live sales, still keep pushing clienteling, which I'm going to talk about in just a minute. Share it on the inventory exchange if you feel like you need to offload it to other boutiques. Restyle, reshoot, remerchandise. We're doing a big live event for like in the Shop the Best Boutiques group, we'll talk about that, and in the All Things Western group for some of you that I know have a lot of offload or inventory to offload. So we're going to help you with that too. But more live sales, more videos, more Insta stories. Just keep posting the merchandise. Evaluate your initial markup. I know a lot of you guys take a little bit lower IMU. And so I just want to make sure that as you're posting, you're still building yourself in enough margin to get out what products you have into it at the beginning and end of the process. This is a big one, analyzing your break even. So we talked about green light, yellow light, red light, right? I want to go into detail with break even. And if you know what you have to sell to make money at the end of the day, and knowing I'm in yellow, okay, I need to cut some expenses. I actually want to pull up another document because I have a whole list of things here on break even. Give me 1 second. Maybe it's at the bottom of this. Okay, all right, so looking at your break even. Right now we're thinking about where can we cut expenses. I have a whole list for you. So a couple things to start with. Today, Jeff, who's on our team, we've been looking at our return on ad spend, our ROAS, okay? So if you are someone who has a lot of ads running, I want to start there with where we can maybe start trimming some of our expenses. And as we talk about trimming expenses, we have to think about what's an expense and what's an investment, because we have both and they are different, okay? An investment is something you are putting money into, but it is proving and helping you get an ROI. An expense is something that you're paying for that you may not be getting something hard out of at the end of the day. So there's things we can eliminate. So investment to me is a Facebook ad. You can still trim them back. If I were to leave anything, and I'd be curious your guys' opinions on this, it would be my retargeting ads, because I'm still doing a ton to get traffic to my website, to my social every single day. And so I still want to be capturing people and retargeting ads. But maybe it's my traffic ads and my conversion ads where my ROAS is tanking. Personally, all of our ads at the Boutique Hub, just looking at them, Jeff just sent me updates this morning. A lot of ours are tanking too, because people aren't spending money right now. They're worried about all the things that are happening right now. So if you have to pause them for a little bit and turn them back on, that's okay. Just make sure you're analyzing what those numbers are. Number 2, segment your email list. This is a really quick way to save money. So I know a lot of you are in subscription plans where you're paying for subscribers, email, text, Facebook bots. So if you have unsubscribes you need to clean out, or if you have active versus inactive subscribers, if you can start to clean out who's inactive, that's a great way to save money on your email list. One thing we do, just so you kind of have the how-to behind it, we use ActiveCampaign for our email program, and we have an automation set up that monitors how often people open emails or click in emails, and if they do that so often, it tags them as an active subscriber. However, however, if they haven't opened or clicked in emails for a while, it tags them as an inactive subscriber, because then you can go into your inactive subscribers and start to run specific campaigns to them to get them to start to take action. And that's the campaign that at the end of it, it's going to run and say, hey, do you even still want to be on our list? And if you still get no response and they're still inactive, you delete them from your list and you keep them so that you can run your Facebook custom audiences with those email subscribers. So there's money in subscriptions that you're probably paying a higher level for that you can just downgrade for the time being. Cutting down hours or utilities or lights, all those things are things you can think about as you get to that red light in your break even too. And this is something I really want you to talk to your team about, because it comes down to, do you have hours you need to cut your storefront back to, or you're just going to staff a little bit lighter? Or are there team members that you can start to move to more incentive-based pay versus just their normal wage, right? Where you can incentivize them to be creative and work with you. And the more your business grows together, those team members are going to be rewarded with you. It saves you a little bit on the front end. It protects their job. It protects, their future, their livelihood, but rewards them in the long run as you continue to grow together. Those of you that have leases, this is a good time to talk to landlords about lease negotiations. Those of you that have debt, you could be refinancing debt at that time. And I want to mention this. I mentioned this yesterday in boot camp. We're often very quick to use things like PayPal Capital or Shopify Capital for those Shopify and PayPal loans. But it's different to use a strategy like that versus having a local banker. A local banker and just having a line of credit, right? If you're going to pay it off relatively quickly and not have any interest on it, a local banker is invested in the local community, and they're invested in you and your business. They want to see you succeed, because when you don't, it impacts your entire local community around you. So when things like this happen in the economy, the local banker's more apt to go, hey, Jenna, how can I make this work? How can we work together to get this debt paid down? Do you need a little bit more time? Can we increase this line of credit for you? Because I know times are tough right now and we didn't see this coming. But just think about like where you're going and what programs you're using. Could you do something like that local that's going to protect you in an event like this? Same thing, now is a good time to talk to insurance agents or to attorneys or contractors that you're working with or contracts that you're in right now, phone plans, credit card processing fees outside of your normal Stripe, Shopify, PayPal. Where are those little areas where you have funds that are just being, I don't want to say wasted, but could be optimized at the end of the day? Oh, okay, subscriptions. So we talked about some subscriptions that you're usually paying a higher level for. Are there things that you could take off the table for the time being? Satellite radio, right? Subscriptions that you're not using. Subscriptions for things like Planoly, right? Or Tailwind, or are there things that you could manually be doing to save yourself a little bit of money in the long run and pick those up when you have more opportunity and more capital down the road? Yes, lots of subscriptions that we don't need, right? The other thing I want to mention is also, if you aren't using hub discounts on things, now's a really good time to go through that list. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of my notes because I have a whole long list for you. If you haven't been to the page lately, on your member dashboard, if you're logged into the hub under perks and discounts, I'm going to read you really quick this list. These are places that you can go and make sure you're getting your hub discount, because that's going to save you money in the long run too. So things like Comment Sold, Sezzle, Office Depot, QuickBooks, Tundra Wholesale, Hertz Rental Car, Vahiro, Boutique Decor, Centex, Slick Text, Open Phone, Allstate Insurance. We have the same negotiated rate as Walmart employees just for being a Boutique Hub member. Hot Mess Consulting. We have over 6 point of sale companies that have discounts. We have over 6 design and e-commerce companies that have discounts. Management One, Inventory Planner, Shopventory, Route. I'm going to come back and talk about Route in a minute. No Issue Tissue, Dell Computers, Partnership, Parcel Scan, the USPS, and more. And when it comes to Route, I want to just hit on that for a second. Should we anticipate that there are shipping issues that are going to arise, Route is a really good thing to make sure you have on your site so that your customers have access to that. So if there are increases in lost packages or shipping delays, you're able to get that money recouped through Route. What is the tool? Is it Partnership? No. It's Parcel Scan, actually. Use this one, you guys. Ed will tell me if I'm wrong. With Parcel Scan, so we often don't realize that if our packages are late, we are owed like a refund from the shipping carrier. Most people don't go through the time to like input their tracking number and to track all these packages to see if there was a late, arrival and there is a fee to be had. This will automatically will import your tracking numbers, and it will look for those fees that you're able to collect, and then it doesn't charge you anything up front. It just takes a percentage of whatever they're able to recoup for you. So really, you're not out anything. You're just able to recoup some funds at the end of the day, and I believe that that's a free service to use. Parcel Scan. If I'm wrong, Ed, if you're watching, please let me know, because I think that's something that could save money also. You also are probably a part of several companies that have subscriptions that have discounts for annual members. For example, the Boutique Hub is $36 a month if you pay monthly. It's $24 a month if you pay annually. So for some of you, it might be a good thing just to analyze of subscriptions like that. If I just spent my $200 now, my $280, whatever it is, now it would save me X over the next 6 months, right? Where I might be apt to not want to spend that money. So think about where you can invest now that's going to save you for the next couple of months. All right, so a couple ways to cut expenses. What else? I have a whole nother list. Okay, marketing opportunities. So, delay packages, monthly fee. Okay, clienteling. Let's talk about that. How many of you guys know what clienteling is? Clienteling. Clienteling is basically you segmenting your list into your top 100 customers, which if you have time, segment your list now. Local customers, nationwide customers, top customers, customers that haven't shopped in X number of days, customers on your list that have never bought from you. Perfect time to segment your list. Clienteling is taking that list of your top 100 customers and having a plan in place to do more personal shopping with them. Calling them, texting them, personal messages to them, doing video chats, closet cleanouts, personal styling, helping basically be their virtual personal shopper. I met a store in New York City called Skirt a couple of months ago, and this is their number one strategy. Now they have some higher end pieces, but they have a lot of pieces like what most of you carry, and they make multiple millions of dollars with this strategy. She's like, we have the best customer service anywhere in New York because of this one strategy. So I know that if she can do it, you guys, it is possible for all of you to go down that road of more high-end service. It feels like it's more labor intensive, but honestly, if funds are tight, it's a really good way to start to recoup some cash in your business. So another way to look at this is looking at what you can offer virtually. So can you run a closet clean out challenge? Can you do something where your customers, you're doing a training? Shannon Burns, I know you've done this before, where she's done a training on here's 5 staples you should have in your closet. Here's how to clean out your closet. Here's how to organize your closet. Here's staple pieces everyone should have that could be worn X number of ways. And then you can educate them on pieces that you have in your store, in your stock, if you're online, that go with those pieces. Maybe it's a challenge that people sign up for that costs some $5, right? Opt in for $5. And then you get a $20 coupon to shop with my boutique after it's all over. So something where you're, again, giving them this personal customer service. Maybe it's a pop-up Facebook group that you do for only a month's period of time and you get people into it. For a month, you go through this challenge. Then they get their coupon code and they can shop from you online. Right? Really simple way to integrate people into your process. Maybe they want to up level. I'm talking so fast I can't even think. Maybe they want to up level from that, and going from a closet clean out challenge, now they're like, hey, I did the closet clean out. It was awesome. We did it as a group, but I want you one-on-one. I want you to be my personal shopper one-on-one. What does that look like for you? What does it look like to go through and just one-on-one spend an hour FaceTiming with someone and helping them feel confident dressing their body? Something you can do from home, they can do from home. It's a win-win situation for all. So we all have opportunities to do a lot more digitally, even if events are shut down, even if stores are shut down, even if markets are shut down. Sammy, I see you on here. Even for wholesalers to do this with boutiques too, I think is a great strategy. And just going back to this idea of money follows eyeballs. Right? The more you keep your customer engaged, right? The more she's going to come back and shop with you when she has money and opportunity to. But for now, we just have to keep her there, keep her engaged, serve her. Again, give her 10 things to do when you're stuck at home with your kids and can't go anywhere, right? Entertain her and give her a place to escape all the madness that's happening. All right. We've talked about live selling. Some of you, home delivery may be an option. Again, if you have a lot of local customers. We've talked a little bit about like the money add-ons. Have you ever thought about it as like a VIP group experience where you have a pop-up VIP group that's different than your normal VIP group, but you have to pay to play. You have to pay to be a member of this VIP group, and then you get special perks. Maybe it's ongoing free shipping. Maybe it's discounts. Maybe it's first looks. Maybe it's an opportunity to do resale in that Facebook group. Or can you start to add a little bit of recurring revenue into your business that you can count on outside of just the products that you're selling? All right. Get creative with merch, right? If you feel like you come to a point in the next couple of months where you're feeling stale about what you have, again, use the inventory exchange. Trade with other boutiques, whatever you have to do to keep things feeling fresh in your business. All right, what else? Let me scroll down. I've got a couple other things I want to mention. At the end of the day, I think, there's lots of strategies that we've talked about. There's lots of fear that's out there. I think that there's going to be a lot of opportunities that come from this, if I'm being honest. I'm going to walk through what I think those are with you because I think we do have things to look forward to. I am a firm believer that everything happens for a reason and that something good will come out of every bad situation. And I believe that everyone here, again, has that opportunity to look at this and get creative and look for the opportunity that's in it, or we can choose to be paralyzed by fear. And if we think this is going to take our business down, it will. I truly believe that it's a mental choice and a mental shift that we all are going to be forced to make at this point. So let me talk to you about what I think the opportunities are. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate that, you guys. Opportunity number one. I think that this is going to diversify manufacturing across the US, China, and many other countries. We're not going to have so much reliance on one part of the world to bring in 90% of our product base. Faith over fear. Thank you, Heather. Amen to that, 100%. Right? If you think it's going to get you, it's going to get you. If you think you'll be fine and you're creative, you'll be fine. Number two opportunity is, I know how much you guys hate fairy season and every other knockoff site just like it. There's a million of them, but have you noticed how much they've slowed down in the last couple of months? They can't get product, right? But number two, the customers are getting smart enough to know, A, that crop's from China. B, I don't think I can trust it. C, where's my local boutique that I know I can trust right now and who actually has the stuff in stock, right? I think we're going to see a decline in those because I think number three, customers are getting smarter. And at the end of the day, customers are going to come to you because they trust you. So this opportunity for you is an opportunity to increase trust with your customers. Let them see your fun personality. Here's your time to get live on TikTok, right? And just make a fool out of yourself because it's fun and it's funny. And not because you're trying to be desperate and sell things, but because you're just trying to relate to your customer in a time where all of you are really frustrated at the same time and you're looking for a way to escape that. That's totally fine. But here's your chance to shine with your customers, build trust, and also increase the level of customer service to a level you've never even had before. Huge opportunity. I think that you now have an opportunity to create that preparedness plan and also your operations document where you probably were putting it off for a while. Like, I don't have time to make SOPs. That's so boring. It is boring. It is boring. But you don't have a business if you don't do it. So remember the bus rule. If you were hit by a bus tomorrow, would your business survive? We all have to decide, are we going to have a hobby or are we going to have a business? If you're going to be a CEO, you certainly have thought about the bus rule. CEOs have plans. They have contingency plans. They know how to outsource. They know how to cross-train your team. This is where you decide how you're going to handle as a CEO or as a solopreneur hustler who feels like she doesn't have time to do those things. You'll find the time because it's really critical to your business. Next opportunity is it's going to force you to train and cross-train your team, right? I think a lot of times we get, and dude, this was so me. As we started to hire a team, I was like, I don't have time. I don't have time to train the team. And Beth's like, I don't have time to train the team either. Some of you that are watching that are on our team, you're like, yeah, I know. You threw us to the wolves and just said, figure it out. That really doesn't work. So if you have an opportunity now to get your team involved and to train them and cross-train them and let them see what it's like behind the curtain of your business, right? Get them invested in what you're doing. This is going to make your team 100 times stronger. And they're going to be so grateful to you because you're open and honest about the crap you're going through, the struggles you're going through, and they know they have a job at the end of the day. So get them on board and have them walk through this process with you. Your team's going to be so much stronger because of it. Next, you guys, I know you hate numbers. I know numbers are intimidating, but this is an opportunity for you to know your numbers on such a deeper level, to know your break even, to deeply know your profit and loss. If you do not have QuickBooks, God bless you, go get QuickBooks now. You have time, it's $10 a month and it's an investment. Or if you're using Harquin Bookkeeping or Christine Gray or someone, get to know those reports, get your profit and loss, get your balance sheet, and really familiarize yourself line by line by line, drill down and know those numbers. Know your inventory on hand. Know what is your budget for the next 12 months, right? What's your projected sales? If you have to go off plan, right? How are you going to start to rebudget for the next couple months? And how are you going to plan out what inventory is going to need to come in that time? What's your turn rate? What's your best-selling categories? What are the staples and the cash cows in your business you can't live without? It is time to know those reports, to know your best-selling brands, your best-selling team members, right? All that data is there for you. It's time just to look at it and use this opportunity to be stronger because of it. It is going to help you. It is going to help you get the big projects done that you've been putting off, right? It's going to force you to look at things that you have not looked at before. And finally, biggest opportunity of all is there will be a comeback, right? There's always a comeback. Ironically, we were visiting with our financial planner a while ago. We were like moving Eric's 401k and doing all these things. And Eric had read the book Unshakable by Tony Robbins. And Unshakable, and then what's the other one? The other Tony Robbins money book. Unshakable and Money Master the Game. 2 really good books if you have not read them. And so he started to dig into this company called Creative Planning that Tony Robbins recommends because they're is it a fiduciary? Someone's going to know this and tell me you're way off. So don't hold me accountable here. I think it's a fiduciary where you have investors who can invest in like their own company's mutual funds, or you have a fiduciary who I think has to legally invest by what's best for you, but not by what funds their company's invested in. If that makes any sense. I don't know. This is Eric's game. It's not mine. Anyway, the point is we were having this conversation about down markets and everyone's talked about, okay, a bear market's coming. Like we all know it's coming. How do you prepare for it? And they're like, well, you know, the number one like investor psychology that we all have to know is that when stocks go down, that means you have an opportunity to buy on sale, right? So many people in this country look at it as I'm losing everything, right? And for those that are near retirement, that's a very real thing. Very real thing. That's a real fear. And hopefully you're invested in something that's safer. For those of you who are younger, this is your opportunity to buy stocks that are on sale, that are going to go to lows. But the point is you have to have your money in the market when the time is low in order to hit the 4 critical high points throughout the year. Because there's usually like 4 to 6, whatever the number is, spikes and peaks that happen throughout the year. And the trick is to have the money in the market as those 4 spikes happen throughout the year, because that's when you get the biggest gain and the biggest return on your money. But it's being brave enough to leave your money in when it's crashing, right? And that's what it's doing, it's crashing. So are you brave enough to leave your money in here so that your money can hit these spikes as it goes along throughout the year? Now I'm talking about this in terms of investing, in terms of stock market, and in terms of money, but it's business psychology too. Whoever comes out of this the strongest will be the ones that really latched onto the opportunity that lies within this thing that we're going through, right? And looked for what the upside potential was going to be. It'll be those who were brave, not those who were fearful because of it. So stay brave, stay creative, keep an open mind. And you guys, this entire training, plus a whole lot more, is going to be in the training library. The whole podcast, which we're going to launch early, we're not going to wait for Tuesday, will be on this topic, and I'll do another live video. And like I said, our team will be here live every week to just keep walking through and answering your questions about this. This is our number one priority. Whatever else happens with Summit or anything else that's happening, that's okay. We'll deal with that. But making sure every one of you has a safe place to come and ask questions and to find resources to share your fears or to share your opportunities or share your wins. We want this to be the place. So if you need anything, I am a message away. Our team is a message away. And I thank you for spending some time with me today to walk through some of these things. So if you have some questions, I really didn't scroll through the comments at all. I'll do that now and I'll answer some of your questions if you want to drop them down below. But again, we're here for you. Let me know if I can help with anything at all. And thanks for being a Hub member. So this is community over competition, and we will get through this together. We've got your guys' back, all right? All right, let's answer some questions. Parcel scan. Yes, Ed, thank you so much. And Ed will post about that today, what I was questioning. Is there any way I can share this on my wholesale page? Hey, Dawn, do you mean like this video? I am going to do a video just like this on our Facebook public page, and that you can 100% share. This one we'll download and we'll put it in our training library so you have access to it later too. Or just shoot me a message. If any of you who are watching this who are wholesalers and you want to share something like this, we'll have a YouTube video on it. The podcast will be really good to share as well. We just want to help as many people as possible. So whatever you would like to do. This is something I need to learn to do. Heather and Michelle, I'm wondering if you were talking about segmenting your email list. Let me know if I can help you with that. I can't believe this is the week that I'm working my last day in the 9-to-5 world to focus only on my boutique. And then they shut down my world. Oh, Heather, The irony, seriously, is crazy. Casey, thank you. Yes, positivity and faith over fear. And I appreciate the hair comments. Thank you guys. All right. Other questions. Be proactive. Yes. Unshakable is amazing. Unshakable and Money Master the Game. 2 awesome books. All right. Any other questions? You guys, I feel like I didn't really answer any questions. Zoe, this is a silly question, but can we disinfect fabric? Wondering. Dang it. Someone asked me that yesterday in boot camp. I would defer to your vendors. I feel like they would have a way better answer to that than I. And if you find out, post the answer here in the group so we all can hear it. And I'll ask that. You know what I'll do? I'll go over and I'll ask that in the wholesale group right now, and we'll get an answer. So look for my post or just ask a vendor that you're close with. Under pressure. I work well under pressure. Perfect. You know what? I was thinking about this quote a lot this week. You know how they say necessity is the mother of all invention? Well, isn't that true? This is your opportunity to get creative and to make it happen. Steaming clothing kills bacteria. Not sure about viruses. Thank you, Tammy. And Tammy, thank you for rescheduling. I feel really bad for asking you, but it has turned into a heck of a week. A heck of a day, heck of a week. All right, any other questions, you guys? I don't see any other questions. So I'll drop this in the training library, this video, this training. It's a PDF download. Podcast is coming, another live is coming, and blog post is coming. Yes. Melissa, do you think it's smart to maybe lower hours a bit? We're not making enough paying out payroll. And I'm thinking this will help a little. We have 3 stores, so payroll can be high. Yeah, I do. I would look back at your point of sale and look for what are your most profitable hours of the week and where can you cut back a little bit. Maybe it's cutting back hours. Maybe it's just staffing a little bit lighter. And maybe another idea is moving your staff to some incentive-based pay in the short term. So maybe they are going to be making some kind of a short commission if they're hourly rate. And that's kind of a last case scenario, to be honest. But it's kind of something you can keep in your hip pocket if you need it. But I mean, it all adds up. Lights, heat, air, wherever you live in the country, right? It all adds up. Payroll is a big issue. And I'm also really interested, to be honest, to see what happens with this economic stimulus package that they're talking about. I mean, this is not a political comment at all, but I know Trump's talking about the payroll stimulus, where they would be eliminating some payroll taxes in the meantime, which is going to help hopefully save some jobs for people, help you as an employer that's paying a lot in payroll taxes. So I'd be on the lookout for some of those things. I know they've also talked about, last night in the president's address, he talked about sending a bunch of money to the SBA, and the SBA is going to have some low interest loans available for small businesses impacted by coronavirus. So if you have a local small business development center or economic development center, Main Street Association, they may have more information on that as it comes from the SBA. I will warn you, getting a loan from the SBA is a pain in the A. It's a lot of freaking paperwork, but if the low interest portion of it is helpful to you, do it. Or interest rates are honestly at their all-time low. So talk to your local banker. Tammy, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Katie, do you think the government is going to be shutting down postal offices? I mentioned this earlier. I was like, dude, that's zombie apocalypse level stuff. But I was shocked yesterday at what I saw. Just shocked. So I have no idea. I guess it goes back to just having that conversation with your customers of what if packages are delayed? I don't know, but talk about it now. And I think someone asked this earlier, do you think offering free shipping is a good idea? I do think offering free shipping right now is a good idea. Please keep us updated. I don't follow politics by choice. Well, I mean, nobody wants to watch the news right now at all. Politics aside, right? So I don't blame you. It's okay. Farmers markets are closing and that's where I make my money. Yeah, I haven't done a live yet. Not sure I can afford comments sold. Hey, Maria, you don't have, if comments sold's not your jam yet, that's okay. For those of you who are making money, you have customers, you are in the live sale process, it's not something that brings you customers. It's something that's going to help take a weight off your shoulders of automatic invoicing. So I would just start with the live sale. And for now, as you get a hang of it, invoice. That's okay, but just go live. This is something that's going to help you come out of your comfort zone. And if you're nervous about it, it's okay. Just tell your people you're nervous about it, and they're going to be like, girl, we got you. Girl, you're doing great, right? They're going to be your biggest supporters, and just say, dude, this virus is sucking the life out of my business. And so I'm going to start going live more often because necessity is the mother of all invention. And here I am. And your people are going to appreciate you for just being real. All right. Are there goods trapped at ports or en route? I don't know the answer to that question, Nicole. I've heard a lot. I've heard yes and I've heard no on that. And I would defer to different wholesalers having different answers, depending on where their goods are coming from. I know there are things coming in from China, and I know there's things that are delayed out of China. But there's a lot of companies that are producing outside of China. So getting goods, I don't think, is as much of an issue as we thought that was going to be initially. And if you know otherwise, let me know. Yes, mindset. Sales are going to be great, and we're going to fight for it. So just remember, I can't afford it versus how can I afford it? 2 words. It's all it is that are different, right? But it's just shutting down the creativity of your brain versus opening up the creativity of your brain. So you've got this, and this group is going to cheer you on. We're going to get through it together. All right, that's it, you guys. I will let you go. We'll put this in the training library. Thanks for showing up today. Let me know if I can help anytime. Appreciate you guys. Bye.